I am in Austria, or rather in Vienna. And there are supposed to be hamsters here? Yes, they do live here. The secret of the urban hamsters lies in the cemeteries in the center of the city. Especially in the morning and evening hours, they start to scurry everywhere. I would like to spend around 5 days in the cemetery observing the hamsters. My name is David Cebulla. I'm a nature filmmaker and wildlife explorer from Germany, and I spent the last years filming wild hamsters for a big documentary all over Europe. Only when you take the time and peace and quiet to linger for a moment, you can discover the many hamsters between the graves. The common hamsters here show differences to the hamsters I observed in the field. The urban hamsters are much less shy and are also very active during the day. The hamsters find plenty of food here. There's a large selection of green plant parts in particular. With such a rich supply, it is not surprising that this hamster does not like the taste of dry leaves. I spot hamsters everywhere, busily stuffing their cheeks. However, it is probably more difficult for the hamsters here to collect large quantities of storable catches. The various plant seeds that they fish from the stalks are most suitable for this purpose. Curiously, the common hamsters living here seem to have another preference. Some sources say that candle wax is rich in oil and therefore high in calories, which is why they eat it. However, as a petroleum product, paraffin wax should not actually be digestible by hamsters and is more likely to be harmful to them. Common hamsters in urban areas are not as unusual as one might initially assume. In addition to Vienna, for example, there are also urban populations in Erfurt and Astana. But how did the species actually end up in the center of the city? The hamsters probably used to live on the outskirts of Vienna, for example in gardens or nearby fields. As the metropolis grew ever faster, this led to soil sealing and habitat loss. The hamsters' last refuge was the few green spaces left in the city, including the municipal cemeteries. Now it is their habitat, enclosed by houses and roads. The hamsters here do not seem to be disturbed, unlike many other wild animals in urban areas, by the noise of the city. For example, the noise level does not influence their choice of burrow sites. An adaptation to the urban habitat, a significantly shorter hibernation period has been observed for common hamsters in urban areas. This is presumably due to a different food availability than in the field. Due to the significantly higher density of individuals than in the fields of Thuringia, for example, there's a good chance to observe encounters between several individuals here at the cemetery. I can see various interactions, for example between parents and youngs or between rivals. The hamsters perform real dances. Marking and leaving scent marks also helps to indicate their own territory to other hamsters. And sometimes it is better to simply avoid confrontations. However, the high population numbers often lead to strong intra-specific competition and aggression. A number of old injuries, for example to the animal's ears, are evidence of rivalry fights. I have not been able to observe this in the field. Diseases could also spread more quickly between the animals, as it is the case with this hamster. However, the high number of individuals also harbors potential for conflict with humans. For example, common hamster burrows in or under graves are not uncommon in Vienna cemeteries and are certainly not welcomed by all grave owners. The plugging up of grave decorations is also a problem which some do not like. Strangely enough, the hamsters don't even stop at artificial flowers. In the cemetery, light and shade often come together for the hamsters, and there are many dangers lurking. Dead hamsters are often found on the site. There is speculation about the deaths, from disgruntled citizens or grave owners fighting the hamsters as a pest, or gardeners acting too aggressively, to inbreeding due to a small population that is too strongly demarcated without genetic exchange with other populations. I also see blind hamsters, for example, which could indicate genetic degradation. I also noticed the increased occurrence of external characteristics such as black eyebrow markings. However, this is not yet real evidence of inbreeding, and even in the case of the dead hamster I found, I cannot identify any external cause of death. Birds of prey such as this falcon are natural predators and pose a danger. The falcon has specialized in young hamsters in the cemetery. And indeed, it soon caught a hamster. Whether predation, poisoning or a virus, the number of individuals in Vienna has also fluctuated significantly in recent years, always with the risk of extinction at this location. This shows that urban populations in general also need to be protected. What a privilege that I was able to see so many hamsters here. On the last evening of my filming in Vienna, this animal shows me once again how strong-willed hamsters can be. It has its sights set on the hazelnuts, but it can't reach them from here. More or less skillfully, it climbs into the bush and balances over the branches. With its entire body weight, it can finally pick the nuts. That's it for today. I hope you learned something new. Thank you for watching and see you soon.